Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It is me, Mike Lepre, King Michael. This is Legit Fantasy Football brought to you by legitpodcast.com. It's Sunday. It is August 7th, 2022. 08072022 means nothing to me mathematically. Joining me at the 11:08 a.m. hour, Mashadamus M1, Mr. Never Left. What's up, Matt?
Having technical difficulties this morning. Can you hear me okay, King?
Oh, I can hear you.
That's good because my Bluetooth headset, I don't know why it's not connected to my phone. Usually it's tough to be received or hear. But I'm doing great, and it's funny because here we are. We're
again.
down.
Matty, there's one.
What?
It's funny. It's funny. I'm
It's
marking
funny.
it down. There's one.
It's funny. It is.
Yes.
It is funny. I'll tell you what, because I'm ready for today. And here we don't have Brother Ray or Buddy with us. And I'm ready to drop dimes because that's what all I got for you today, King.
I got to be honest. So can you hear me still?
I can hear you.
Yeah. So this morning, like the last couple of Sundays, the pep in my step just hasn't quite been there. It's tough to get going sometimes. But this Sunday, something about it. I guess because I got to see the Giants in training camp in pads. I'm up. I'm in. I'm juiced. Even my son stopped me in the hallway upstairs last night, and he goes, he's gonna turn 19 in November. He goes, Dad, how into it are we getting this year? What do we got to do? Like, how are we setting up the living room? Like, we put our helmets, the Giant helmets, in certain spots, and there's always like the football's gonna be here. I have to have the football in my hands during the offense. We got our own little superstition.
Absolutely.
But that's what it's about. Like, let me tell you something. The greatest feeling, not the greatest feeling, one of the greatest feelings is to be able to pass on the Giants to my son. For him to be a fan of the same team is fucking epic. And that's why, I guess sometimes I feel bad for my nephew Jake because Ray's a Dolphin fan and Jake's a Dolphin fan. Now it's a life of misery. But you know what I mean? Like, I respect the fact that you follow, in your father's team and in the same team. You know what I mean? That's big to me. I like that.
I don't know, man. I look at it like this. There is a lot of misery in a lot of organizations. But when you have the misery, you have
the elation.
Oh my, we finally did it. Like, there was no better time to be a Red Sox fan. And then 2004, when they finally beat the Yankees and then finally lifted the curse. Or, when the first championship against the Rams. There's a lot of, for the Patriots, there's a lot of getting over the hurdles. And part of the misery is, being in that suck and then finally overcoming it.
Can I be honest, though? I feel like fans should enjoy the suck a little bit more because let me explain why. And you'll know this as a Red Sox fan. After the Red Sox did that sweep, came back, did all that stuff and won. Nothing was going to match that. Nothing, right? Take me now. We beat the Broncos. We should have back when I was a kid because we had the best linebackers, period. And then we won in the 90s, early 90s against the Bills. We got lucky, you could say, I guess, on a missed field goal, but I don't think so. We played a really hard game against an incredible offense again. It's always seems like
listen. No, I wouldn't say luck, but it was a field goal that should have been made, but it's irrelevant because
7-yarder.
Yeah, but it's irrelevant, and I compare it to the Malcolm Butler play because it's not a stand, but you didn't get there. We stopped. We forced you to make a field goal attempt, and you didn't do it.
So they beat the Broncos offense, which is incredible, and then they won against the Bills offense, which was ridiculously incredible, and then they beat the Patriots offense twice, which was crazy. So we always win because our defense has to show up. So what I'm saying is that Super Bowl win against the Patriots, the undefeated Patriots, when they were already selling the merchandise online, and everybody that I would talk to, just especially living here, everybody wanted to come and tell me how bad my team was and how we're going to get crushed. So after that game, I keep saying to my son, I don't know what's going to happen to make me go, wow, this was even better than that. Because like we did it twice to probably one of the best dynasties of all time.
Oh yeah. And I'll tell you, like, if you look at the Super Bowls that they've been in, they were, even the ones that were winning or lost multiple games, they would basically come down to one play here or there, and they were all nail biters, very good games. It was very tough. It's tough to beat Brady in a regular season game, never mind a playoff game, but the amount of mistakes or miscues is just it's so in a level of the Super Bowl. The games were just incredible. I actually, in the card world, like and somebody just sold a David Tyree catch autograph, and I looked at it, and it almost made me like upchuck a little bit. And I said I would actually buy that just to burn that. And that's the only reason I would, because it's a stain that's in my brain and attachment pain, and it hurt me for probably like a year after that, and it still does. It hurts. It does hurt because it was such a monumental moment.
So listen, so we are redoing a legit fantasy football league, and we've already had, I think, 2 people drop out and or quit.
Who was it?
Now,
who dropped out, King?
Yeah, I'm gonna go through it because I already told them that I'm gonna put them on blast once they quit. But this is odd. So first, now, one of my first rules was I thought moving forward we should get rid of the bottom 2 teams of the 12. 8 teams make the playoffs. 2 teams don't. 2 teams are out. So the bottom team, the youngest brother of the clan of ours, is out.
Jesse.
Yes. He oddly enough, he signed up, has a team on the page, but quit. I don't know if he knows which league that was that he signed up for, if I'm being honest. And then Big Stu dropping out. His exact words were, I can't focus on more than one fantasy league. Maddie, now, you want the truth of this? The truth is, they don't want to deal with the champ. They don't want to have to deal with the champ. They don't want to hear the champ this year. They don't want to be part of it this year. They don't want to take the brunt of me, letting them know that I'm still the champ. And until they beat me, they beat me. Now, I think this is good, because if you don't have the heart to come at me and come take this title, bring in 2 people. Bring in 2 more.
Bring in new meat. The funny thing is this. It's funny, I think it's funny because Brother Ray has 2 defeats to the hands of Mastradamus. I know that kills him. I can't recall what my matchup was against Big Stu. I do think I might have been 2-0 against him. I'd have to go back and look. We could have split. I don't know. But that just makes me want to beat you more. Like, I don't walk away from competition. And I'll be honest with you, that league was highly competitive. Tim keeps on telling me, he had the most points in the league, He came out of nowhere. He had a lot of injuries. I was basically driving a broken vehicle into the playoffs and putting people in places, but I was still doing a good job. The league is highly competitive, but when I hear that Big Stu walks away, I say, you don't walk away from me. I tell you to go. Tell you to go.
See, the league, in my opinion, is already up here. It went from here, now it's this competitive. Because now we need to bring in 2 people from either different walks of life, maybe people that are on our shows. Who knows who we're bringing in for these 2? But they got to understand, whoever else enters this league, it's extremely competitive. And, you're not dealing with people who can't play fantasy football. We talk about it all the time. I mean,
Jesse's Jackals was ready for more. He was ready for more, and Big Stu wasn't. What?
The Jackals, they were in dead last the whole time, though. Remember, they started in last place and they ended in last place. So I don't think he was paying attention to that, anyways. For being honest, right? How could he? If he was, I'm scared that he couldn't get out of the basement. You know, it is what it is. All right, so we're down to 10. We have Brother Ray, myself, Jake, his nephew Jake, Junior is still in it. You, Joey, Buddy, Dave Evans is yet to commit. Your friend is in, I think. Big Stu is out. And then how about this? I messaged Coach TJ about the league. He asked me if there's money involved. I said, no, it's the same league. He said, oh, I didn't do it last year. Yes, he did. He told me, I'll show you the message later. He wasn't in the league last year. Yes, you were. Remember? Do you remember he was in the league last year? I don't understand what people are talking about. I was in the league last year.
They don't want to remember the pain.
That's it. It seems like only, you know, it's weird too. It only seems like the people that are on the shows are the guys that made it to like the finals or the championships. Do you know what I mean? It's like the other ones, they don't want to get involved. They don't want to get their feet in. You know what I mean? They don't want to get caught up in the thing. Because, Matt, what happens if you win? They got to deal with you. Right? Like, that's my point.
I couldn't top what you've done, though. And it's so funny and ironic that I enjoyed the clip when the champ came in with the belts and my phone shut down because my phone was like kind of like me, but being like, Matt, we're done with this shit. Yeah, and it shut down and it couldn't take it anymore. And King was like, Matt, you bounced. And I was like, I didn't. I loved it. But really, my phone was like interceding for me and be like, we can't tolerate this no more.
Yeah, it was when Buddy took the belts. Buddy stole the belts from me. We went on this thing and he showed me to him. I found one of my mom's old bathrobes. Those old lady, like you saw it, the zebra white print ones. And I just wore it with no shirt. And I had the beard. It was a great promo. It was a great promo. But that's the kind of thing we're going to do this year. Last place has to, a lowest score every week has to come on the show on Thursday and apologize. We are going to be rocking, Matt. This is going to be a great year for our league.
We should have a boot, like two boots. We got two boots to give out, and we'll keep them in the and we'll write their names on them. And they got the boot, two boots.
Yeah. We should start a list of people that quit, gave up, got the boot. You know what I mean?
I cannot believe Big Stu is gone.
I know. But he you know, I don't know. All right, let's break some stuff down, Matt. I'm gonna go over this really quick before we get into some fantasy breakdowns. I got to touch on this. This is what I do. So this year, my plan is every Sunday I'll be in a different NFL jersey.
I'll do it. I'm at you.
I am a Giants fan, right? But I will be wearing other jerseys. Now, if I stand up, Matt, for a second, and you look behind me, I've got Cliff Averill, Cam Jordan, Dante Hall, Charlie Joyner, Chargers. Oh, this is Marquise Brown, college. Marquise Brown with the Ravens. Clint Portis in black. Fridge Perry in orange. Jackie Smith, Hall of Famer for the Cardinals. Pete Tillman for the Bears. Derek Johnson, Black Chiefs. Fred Warner, 49ers. We got Okereke from the Colts. You got Dan Hampton from the Bears. Brazil from the Old School Oilers. Dermonte Dawson, Steelers. Langer, Dolphins. And Ozzie Newsome, Cleveland Browns. And then I have a couple in the back. But I'm going to rotate through those. So each week I'm going to rock one. That's my plan. That is the plan. Let's see. Now, watching Giants. Kayvon Thibodeau is so fast off his first step that the NFL is not ready for this dude. This kid is the real friggin' deal. I seen him line up against here's what I loved. I saw him line up against what's his face? Thomas, right? He lined up against Thomas. And he hit him and then went to make his second move. Thomas locked on him and drove Thibodeau into the ground. Bam! And I'm like, yes, because I want my left tackle to at least be able to punch, right? But then the following play, which was a short, thank God it was a short screen. Thibodeau on the first jump, Matt, was already almost around Thomas. That kid's like leaning in like he's gonna be a monster. Like the NFC East is so underrated in their teams because last year they all sucked, in my opinion. Like, but they all have four teams that are young, I think, being built correctly and have talent at skill positions. The Cowboys do, the Eagles do, the Giants do, and don't sleep on the Commanders or whatever they're called. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, we've been saying that defensive line and defense has been good anyways, right?
Oh, yeah.
We got to come up with a different name for them this year. It can't be the Commanders, can't be the Inboxes. They had to be just that name or just whatever. I don't call them the
Washington
common. The Washington, yeah. I like the football team. They made a mistake with that. I digress. All right, let me flip that though. I also think the AFC East, which has been known for being horrible over the last so many years, is also going to be all better. All four teams will be better. The East on both sides, I think, will be better. Name one team out of the 8 that won't be better.
The Patriots are going to be bad.
I think they'll be better.
I don't think so. They lost J.C. Jackson to San Diego. I mean, L.A. They've got a very bad. They had a bad secondary, and J.C. Jackson was probably their only shining point of it, forcing people to go to Jalen Mills. Now, who are you going to replace J.C. Jackson? Well, you got Malcolm Butler. I don't even know if he's going to make the team, but even if he does, he's not a true number one.
Matt, who's the best coach in the AFC East, though?
They got a tougher schedule than last year. They didn't replace their guards. They've got a horrible secondary, like I said, in their linebacking core is trash. I'm hearing my brother, Bluntimus Prime, works at the stadium. Word out of the stadium is they're just their offense looks garbage. Very, very bad. There's no fluidity. There's just nothing that's looking good. They're trying to make it look like the running back that they picked this year, and they're trying to make it look like Devontae Parker is the second comer of Randy Moss, which is absolutely a joke. So they don't have anything to withstand, and if they played the Jets 10 times, I think they would probably lose 5 of those games.
I'm telling Brother Ray right now while we're on. He's like, why? We don't start Sundays until we have games. I wrote, they had a preseason game. So we started. He wrote, I'm at the beach. I wrote, I'm going to write, enjoy the beach. I hope you get sand in your trunks. All right. Let's break down ESPN's rankings. Let's go quarterbacks. Let's do quarterbacks, Matty. All right. Now, if I had to tell you to name the top 3 quarterbacks fantasy off the top of your head,
it's definitely got to be probably, I would say Justin Herbert might be the number 1 this year. He's definitely 1A if he's not. Then you got.
He's in the top 3. He's in the top 3.
Okay.
They got him.
I would have him. They got him at 3.
Yep.
Well, what is this? Is this PPR? Not
yep.
PPR. That's not yeah.
Regular,
what is it?
Yeah. Regular PPR scoring league. Yeah. Name 2 quarterbacks right now that in the NFL that are more electric than Herbert. Technically.
More electric than Herbert.
They just score points. To be
honest with you, Kyler Murray could be there. I'm sure he's going to be top 5.
He's 5.
He's 5. Okay. I would go. Burrow is one of the 2, and if he's not, he's 4.
10. No, 10.
Wow, it's crazy.
It's not really if you think about it.
I guess Aaron Rodgers is 1 because he's
nope. Aaron Rodgers is down to at number 9. Matty, you're 0 for 5. You want me to tell you?
No. Don't tell me.
All right.
Let's go with Josh Allen as number 1.
There it is.
Unbelievable. It's not going to happen.
Josh Allen number 1.
And then Patty Mahomes is number 2, which is not going to happen either.
Number 2. Yep, Josh
It doesn't
Allen.
make any sense to me. See, Mastradamus thinks in the future, and both of them is not going to happen. I like Stephon Diggs, and I love Gabriel Davis. I love Dawson Knox, but there was something with that offense, and I think we touched on it. James Cook, the running back that is there. Oh no. I wanted to touch on it. I didn't. Brother Ray was saying Devin Singletary. James Cook, if he gets in there and cracks it, watch out for him because he's a pass catching back. They've never been able to throw to their running backs. Zach Moss ain't gonna do it. Devin Singletary doesn't have the hands. James Cook can do that, and he'll be in if the analysts believe that Josh Allen's the number 1 QB in the league, which he'll be up there. He'll be, I think, 5 to 8. But you can get James Cook attached to a high octane offense. That's what I'm excited about. I look at Josh Allen 2 years ago, had a great year. Last year, it was up and down. Towards the end of the year, I want consistency. I didn't see consistency out of their offense. That's why I like Miami this year.
So, all right. So let me break down the top 5, and I'm gonna go over last year's stats as to what ESPN projects them to be. So, see, this is where I find hypocrisy immediately because they have number 1 Josh Allen. Last year had 4,400 yards passing, 36 TDs, 15 interceptions, ran for 763 yards with 6 TDs.
That's good. I like that.
402.58 fantasy points. They have him throwing for 4,100 yards this year, 300 less. They have him throwing for 33 touchdowns, three less. 2 interceptions less, but 50 yards or so, but 100 yards less rushing. And they have him scoring 374 points. So they have him projected to score 374, right? So he's dropping, they think. Then same thing with Patty Mahomes. Last year, 4,800, 37 touchdowns, 381 rushing, 2 TDs. This year, they got him at 36 touchdowns, 4,500 yards, less yards rushing, less fantasy points, right? And then Justin Herbert, they had him at, last year, he had 38 touchdowns, 5,000 yards, 15 interceptions, ran 300 yards and 3 TDs. And they say this year, 4,200 yards, 34 touchdowns, a drop in rushing, same TDs. The last one I'll give you, the last 2 I'll give you in the top 5, Matty, is Lamar Jackson. Last year, 16 TDs, 13 interceptions, 760 yards rushing, 2 TDs there, with 2,800 yards passing. They say this year he goes up to 3,400, 23 touchdowns. He goes up by 7 touchdowns. His rushing goes up by 200 yards with 2 more rushing touchdowns. And then finally, Kyler Murray in the top 5, literally a little bit better. He goes from 3,700 yards. I think he'll have 4,000. He had 24 TDs. I think he'll have 25 with 3 more interceptions. Same amount of yards rushing, same rushing TDs, almost same fantasy points. So, Matt, they obviously have Lamar and Justin on the rise, and Josh and Patty taking a step back. Why?
Well, if you want to hear what I have to say about Lamar.
Yeah, I want to hear why those 2 are jumping up and why those other 2 are still up there, even though they're projected they're dropping and those 2 are rising.
Well, it's funny. It's funny. That's 3. So I got Josh Allen dropping 2. We got Patty Mahomes dropping because, if you're losing Tyreek Hill, you're dropping. But with Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens didn't give him a contract. Lamar's playing. He can say what he wants. He hasn't produced. Went to the playoffs. Every time he's playoffs, he's 0 for 2. Can't defeat, a team that's prepared for him. They're a gimmicky offense when you go through a league and you're playing the same kind of prolific offense every week, and then all of a sudden you see this run quarterback. It's about X's and O's and getting somebody on the gap. So he's kind of, he can't throw through passing lanes. He had a very good year following his MVP year, but then he kind of tapers off and then he dies out.
Who, Lamar?
The thing is Lamar Jackson is up against it, and I'll lay a prediction. This is a prediction that is going to come to fruition. They didn't give him a contract because he's not getting a contract. What we saw, and I think you called it, or Brother Ray called it, somebody on the show called it, when they had the backup, Henley, Tyler Huntley.
Brother Ray said
when he was in, they were better.
Yeah, they were.
They had the best passing stats they've seen in years. and they had a prolific offense. You have Marquise Hollywood Brown leaving town because
But you
of
got
the
Rashad
sacrifice.
Bateman. You got Rashad
But
Bateman. You got to use him.
yes, you do, but we haven't even seen Lamar Jackson. Like Timmy, who was in the legit league, is attracted to Lamar. I took Lamar in the 5th round last year. I think Lamar is an exciting piece, but we have not seen him trend up after. Like, okay, Mark Andrews, he soaks the ball to him, but I don't see him lighting up the X and the Z. I don't see him extending plays. I don't want anybody who's not consistent, King.
I have never drafted him in any of the leagues. I don't like the way he throws the ball. I'm going to make a comparison to, if you remember, Donovan McNabb. The thing about Donovan McNabb was that dude could throw the ball 400 yards off his back foot, rolling to his left, right? He could make ridiculous plays, just like Lamar. They can extend plays, make plays ridiculous. But to try to get him to throw the ball to the flat, try to get him to just dump it to the flat and the ball goes in the dirt. It's like when they have to think about what they got to do, into the dirt it goes, right? That's literally what we're dealing with him. And that's what Donovan McNabb was like. And I forget who the quarterback, I'm thinking the Cardinals, this long, goofy white guy. I can't remember his name. I don't know if it was him, but he threw it like that. Like amazing plays, but then ask him to just throw a basic pass. And it seems like he flicks it. They flick it, and they don't have enough control in it. I honestly think Michael Vick is a better pure passer than both of those guys I just mentioned. Because Vick at one point was just slinging it, and he was his balls. He was throwing it everywhere. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Never like Lamar. All right, never like Lamar. So after the top 5, Matt, right? Can't argue with Kyler Murray there. Can't argue with Patty. Can't argue with Josh. Can't argue with Justin. Maybe Lamar we could bump down, but maybe he does all right. So we're gonna go 5 through 10. You ready? 6 through 10. 6 is Dak Prescott. 7 is Jalen Hurts. 8, Tom Brady. 9, Aaron Rodgers. 10, Joe Burrow. Now, I got a bit of an issue with the 5, 6 through 10. I really do. First of all,
yeah, me too.
Dak Prescott, they got him declining and everything. They got Aaron
without
Rodgers.
Amari, things get closer. They lost Cedric Wilson also, didn't they?
I don't pay attention.
Cedric Wilson Jr. is somewhere else.
All I know is I don't feel like that this is the year that Dak breaks out. I don't know. I don't know. Not a big fan of his. So moving down, Jalen Hurts does not belong at 7. I'm telling you guys, I watched him last year, and he couldn't read defenses. I don't care what anyone says.
Do you remember what I said before he hatched, or even way before he played? I said he's like Pat Mahomes. He's in the mold of Pat Mahomes. I think we're going to see such a transition between the two players that statement is going to become,
No, Patty Mahomes had a better head on his shoulders. And when he was brought in, the way that he was coached, like they coached
probably a better offensive mind, but
better city, just a better area. Dude, I'm just telling you, Jalen Hurts is getting no. Think about the support. You think he's getting support? Like Jalen Hurts.
I love what Jalen Hurts is working with now. Not only does he have God on the inside, but when you now put A.J. Brown on the outside opposite of Devontae Smith, and you got Jalen Reagor as your third, now you can free up everybody. And I look at it like this, right? We've seen times when he was blazing the Broncos secondary where he felt very comfortable. And I always said it, once a player feels comfortable in the system, and now you got just like Tua. Nobody really believes in Tua this year. He's got somebody to make his life easier.
I like Tua better than Hurts, though. Look,
I think Jalen Hurts is more athletic than Tua.
Yes,
but I agree. Think Tua has a better head.
Yes, I think Hurts physically has every tool you need, except between his ears. I watched him last year, man. I'm just telling you the mistakes he made.
He looks like a deer. There's times when he looks like a deer and he's like,
how to read defenses, if that's your issue, is going to be really rough. That's one of those things that's rough. All right.
I think that's Lamar Jackson's issue, and he's still playing. He's still getting an opportunity, but it's going to be I don't know if I said it, but I was going to. Lamar Jackson, before midseason, is going to be sat down. He's not going to finish the year. That's my prediction. That was my prediction. I didn't say it. I jump around. Lamar Jackson is not finishing the year as the starter.
That's a bold one.
Yeah, so, that is very bold.
Look at the defenses too. Jalen's going to go up against in his division. The Skins. We should call them the Skins, because that's what I always used to call them. The Skins, the Cowboys, and the Giants all have defenses, just like the Eagles. Like all 4 teams are coming, so it's not an easy division for this kid. I'm just saying, a young quarterback like this, I would not have him up so high. Number 8.
King, before we go on, I did say something about 2 shows ago. I was talking about Tom Brady taking over franchises, and what came out is absolutely crazy that it should be talked about more. I was talking about how Brian Flores was taking money, or they were trying to get him to take money to lose games, and he was like, absolutely not. But then they switched the topic from talking about that, which should be talked about, because if you want to suspend Calvin Ridley a whole year, you don't want to talk about totally rigging games and throwing games.
I was all over that. I broke that on a show. I talked about it. Listen.
They wanted Tom Brady, King, and the writing's on the wall. They lose a first and a third, but who exposed it? Bill Belichick, with a simple text to going, "Hey, King, congratulations on the job." What? I didn't get a job. Ha ha ha. Exposes an investigation that opens up what would be tampering. Bill is playing chess while other people are playing checkers. That's amazing. You took away picks.
You know what happened with that? So the Dolphins quarterback, a coach, was claiming racism. And what's his name? Hubie Brown? I forget the guy's name, the other coach. Came to his defense. Yeah. But in his defense, talked about something completely different. He actually said that he would see things in his paycheck and ask them what that's for. And they would say, it's a bonus. And he would say, wouldn't that money be better if it went like towards the team and the players? Now, here's the thing. He said that, but he also said that he saw the money in his account. He's never once said he gave it back, Matt.
Yeah.
His paychecks are littered with bonuses after every loss. He had to know early on that he's getting bonuses to lose. So then why not expose it then? Why bring it up? Why even bring it up? Why even bring it up when that's not what the conversation was about? It was about, black coaches getting their due and whatnot. He was supposed to come in and stick up for his friend, and all of a sudden he's talking about being paid to lose. And being paid to lose, seeing it in his paycheck, and then asking about it. But not once did he say he gave it back. Why in God's name would you admit that on ESPN? It opened up worms that were like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, I would never want him to have my back. If I ever get pulled in for an investigation and he got pulled in with me, I'd be like, I'm going to jail for something that I didn't even do. This guy's just going to yab about things he doesn't even yab about. You know what I mean?
Oh boy.
We had that thing on the news, the armed robbery down the street from my house yesterday. There was like a car pulled up, I guess, and they robbed the house that's like literally down the street from me. And it was on the news. But I guess like they said 3 armed men robbed that house, this, that, the other. And 2 things came in my head. One, I know what they do out of that house. And yeah, it makes sense that the house got robbed. When you're in certain businesses, illegally, allegedly, you draw a lot of other illegal attention, especially if you may have something, and other legal people know that you have it. They come rob it. Yeah. Secondly, I said, I have a dog that stands in the window that everybody is afraid of. Maddie, I took him for a walk down the street, and all the kids around the neighborhood, the kids that cause all the problems, teenagers. I knew one of them. I didn't realize I coached him all his life. So he's really nice to me, goes to Mount. So now he says hi to me when I walk by that group of kids. So I'm kind of cool with them. But I was walking Kobe, and this one kid was like trying to act tough. All gangs are tough. And he's looking at the dog. And this kid that I know, he's funny. He goes, he's terrified of dogs. And the kid goes, no, I'm not. And literally, I don't know why Kobe goes, whoo, and the kid goes, wah. And we're all like, yeah, you are. Anyways,
Awesome.
I love scaring the younger kids. I can't help it. It's part of growing up. It's part of being a football guy. You got to put a little bit of like on the younger crew. They got to earn their chops coming up because no one ever made it easy for us, especially in fantasy football. When I would lose early on to the older guys, they never gave me an ounce of anything sympathy. They crushed me if they could. And that's what we do. All right, moving on to the next 5, Matt. It's going to be, after Jalen Hurts at 7, you get Tom Brady at 8, Aaron Rodgers at 9, Joe Burrow at 10. Thoughts on that? I think Brady's a little too high. I don't know.
I got Joe Burrow I want to switch places with Dak. Put Dak probably back at 9, 10, 11. Then you got Jalen Hurts at 7. I don't mind that. I like him at 6, 7. I think that this is a year that he's going to kind of trend upward. But then you got
Brady.
Who else is that?
Brady.
Who?
Brady's at 8.
You know,
he should be like 11, 12. I mean, you know.
He's always consistent. He's always got something to prove. He's down some weapons. They got Chris Godwin back on the field, which I can't
Look at Julio Jones.
I don't really believe in Julio Jones that much, but you're working with like Mike Evans and Russell Gage. I'm not high on that. That Rob Gronkowski also kind of sent a message, right? He's like, if I thought we were gonna win, I would have came back. It would have been fun. I think it's kind of getting old, and like even
I think Julio had a great year though.
I don't know. It could be, but right, like if you keep going out to play for Brady, right? But then you had him almost leave, and now he's back. But you know he had one foot out the door. Do you really want to support him? Do you want to play?
Julio Jones just wants to get one ring. Yeah, Julio Jones wants one ring and out. He'll play his ass off to get a ring. That's all he wants, and he's out. And I tell you what, healthy, I don't care how old he is, if Brady keeps throwing him the ball, Julio Jones is going to beat up on some cornerbacks if he stays healthy. That's a fact. I mean, the guy, if you give him that one, he's the type of guy that if you give him that one last season to get a Super Bowl, he'll ball out. You know he will because he's like a good guy. He wants to win. So I like Julio Jones.
I'm interested, King. I got to be honest with you. I'm more like I got to see it, and the year's getting a little longer. Not that it's much longer, but this is a guy that we're talking about who can't finish a year, and he hasn't in recent years. Maybe he's going to have it like a little bit more excitement playing with Tom. Yep. Yeah, we'll see. Interesting, but it was a late signing. If anybody else wanted him, they could have had him. But then Tom again, maybe his services weren't ready for anybody.
You know? Tom loves him in camp, though, already.
Yeah, is that what they're saying? Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're the same age. Well, not the same age, but they're older. And they just get each other better, you know? Let's do 11 to 15 because it gets a little weird. I'll be honest. 11's Russell Wilson. I agree. Then Matthew Stafford's 12. Yeah, I kind of agree, even though they have him dropping dramatically. Then they have Trey Lance at a 13. They got him throwing for 22 touchdowns, right? I guess they got him rushing for 4. I don't know. I wouldn't put Trey Lance there, and then it goes Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins. That's like dude, I gotta be honest, Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins could both drop spaces because there's a couple guys that come after them that are younger and no one's paying attention to. What do you think?
I don't think so. See, those two names that you got dropping, I probably got more behind Russell Wilson after 11 because Kirk Cousins has had, I think, like 3 top 10 finishes in like the last 4 years. And then you got,
Trey Lance, Derek Carr.
No, Derek Carr. Derek Carr's now adding who we played with at Fresno State, Devontae Adams, with Darren Waller, who's never seen the coverage like he's going to see, with a top 10 wide receiver of last year, Hunter Renfrow, who doesn't even have to play like a top 10 wide receiver. He's just got to be open, and he will be.
Just imagine if what's-his-face didn't crash his car.
I don't know, because I don't know if Henry Ruggs, like, listen, if you're crashing your car, and I've seen videos with him with the girl in it, and she's like, get me out this car, and he seemed like a real kind of like dummy. I don't know if that ever translate well on the football field. I don't know if he might accidentally hit 500, 600 yards here and there because he's a gifted athlete, but he's kind of not smart. I don't think he ever sees the football field again. If it does, it's not going to be for long. Henry Ruggs ain't too bright.
Let me break down 16 to 20. All right. And 16 to 20, I'm going to tell you right now, are all they could. Right. So 16, Trevor Lawrence. 17, Tua, whatever. Tua. 18, Deshaun Watson. 19, Justin Fields. 20, Daniel Jones. They have those guys ahead of like the Tannehills, the Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Jameis Wilson's, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan, Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, David Mills, Kenny Pickett. So
the biggest name there, King, is Justin Fields. I'm hearing great things.
I know, but I like all of these young quarterbacks. Other than Watson, I'm telling you this. I think Trevor has a better year. What's that?
Watson, you could probably cross off because he's probably not going to be playing. But yeah, I love Tua and I love Trevor, but not too much because like, what did they do? They gave a big contract to Christian Kirk. Like, what did Christian Kirk ever do? You get rid of DJ Chalk. I think DJ Chalk's probably better than Christian Kirk. Who knows?
You know, he only had 12 touchdowns, right? And 17 interceptions last year. Trevor.
Ooh, Trevor? I know. Yeah.
So they think he'll turn it around. That's what they're thinking because the line is a little bit better. They did pick up Evan Ingram, which can spread on offense. Maybe he starts catching the ball in Jacksonville.
Well, it's going to open up things for Dan Arnold. Dan Arnold, you could see as soon as they got him with the trade for C.J. Henderson, they were trying to get it to him early and often. And I guess that they even throughout the league, and that's someone that probably isn't even getting talked about of relevance of tight ends is Dan Arnold. Like that move was definitely to probably free up space for Dan Arnold. And he's got sure hands. He can move well.
All right. Trevor
has already shown that he likes him.
So then Tua has an offense around him, and he's young, right? He's got weapons. They're moving up. Of course, D. Jones, Daniel has a ton of weapons. Believe me when I tell you this. And an offensive line doesn't go like that in preseason. It doesn't.
They got a big offensive line this year, and they're well respected.
Yeah, they got two tackles that are two like baby giants, right? Yep. You got that guy Feliciano playing center. He's a classic veteran. We got Glowinski as a guard. He's another veteran that's going to be solid. And we got that kid Shane Lemieux that we've been growing as the left guard.
It's the best line Saquon's ever seen, and there's no
the best line the Giants have had. Best line Giants have had in the last 10 years at least. I'm not that's not even a joke. It has to be because, I mean, unless they just get crushed. But then you got Saquon in the backfield, right? You've got a bunch of receivers that are just ridiculously quick, and Tony and the new kid, which I'm gonna have to get his jersey because I keep talking about this kid, and then I just keep watching the scrimmages, and every scrimmage somehow he's scoring a touchdown. I don't know. I mean, there's this kid Stills on the team that DJ throws to the most on the Giants, but as far as like when they're scrimmaging and there's a big play that happens, I'm telling you, Wan'Dale Robinson's making it. So I love what he's got around him. Now, Justin Fields, does he have the supporting cast? I think he's really weak.
It's unbelievably weak, but you know what that does? It means so much for him. Like he's going to be the focal point of that offense. Like everyone didn't like Tim Tebow fantasy wise, but he was so consistent when you had him in there. He would always get those running touchdowns and make these miracle plays, and it was exactly what you needed out of a quarterback position. But with Justin Fields, I think, granted, Mac Jones had the best year out of all the rookie quarterbacks last year, but they didn't unleash Mac Jones the way Justin Fields was unleashed. I think Justin Fields was unleashed. He did more with less, and I think he'll do better this year. They didn't really get him anybody to add to the offensive mix, but he's got a hell of a running game. And
all right, two things. So two things. One, I fear that causes bad habits. Like what that's going to cause is him to have to adjust, do things on the fly, and it could cause bad habits. So like when you have no one around you, you try to do things you shouldn't, aka Daniel Jones, and you fumble and bad things happen. I'm just saying that. However, it says the 2001 first round pick was as bad as you can get from a fantasy perspective out of the gate in his career, finishing with single digits in 6 of his first 7 appearances. The light seemed to go on after that as he finished as a top 12 fantasy QB in each of his final 4 weeks. So the kid was coming on, the kid's learning the game. But Matt, I worry when you put a kid out there like that and you don't give him any weapons. Because what is he gonna do? He's gonna try to make, you know what I mean, like soup.
Yeah, he's gonna play out of his position.
You know?
Play out of his position, absolutely.
That's what I worry about with him. I was worried about last year with Trevor Lawrence. Remember I told you? I was afraid he was gonna catch a beating. Remember I said this poor kid, like he's not gonna you were high on him, and I was like, I think he's gonna catch a beating with that line.
Like, I just feel like, and I thought that you see these quarterbacks translating to the NFL more, and it's funny because it's for Davis Mills had one of the best, if not the best, pro day out of all of them, but he fell and he fell and he fell, and now look at him at the Texans, and he looks so good, and they don't really have much down there, but they did. They protected him a lot better than Trevor Lawrence. And that's what, it's not really who you are, it's who you're with. And it can make you look really good or it can make you look really bad. Or it can make you like Andrew Luck and be like, I'm not playing if you're just going to – I don't want to have shoulder surgery every year. Imagine that. We got to see and we've seen it many times where you see unbelievable talents just get knocked out of the NFL because they just can't protect these guys.
They just – why it's just not worth it for them, right? Like why would it be worth it to get your ass whooped? Like that's my point with look, I can't get my hat straight.
Daniel Jones was getting his ass kicked.
Look at Eli. That's why I always go back to why Eli Manning is a first ballot Hall of Famer, because he was there every game, started every single game. There's nothing better than to know your quarterback will be in the huddle every game for like 10 years. That's ridiculous, right? Plus,
unbelievable.
Plus, he had a very calming effect, and he took a beating. If you go back and look at the Super Bowl against the Patriots, or even what he had to do the second time against the 49ers to get there, Eli Manning got hit so many times where his helmet would spin around his face and his shoulder pads would be sticking out, right? You saw that all the time. A guy like Tom Brady, you never saw that. It's just true. You never saw him pick himself up all the time and them trying to help him up. This guy never complained. He never complained.
What you saw with Tom Brady is if a player went next to him, he would look at the ref and be like, come on, man.
You know, I didn't know there was a rule that Brady does that I had no idea the rule existed, where if the ball's placed and it takes too much time, there's like a motion he can make to the ref that adds. Look that up. There is something, but Brady does it all the time. He always checks to it to get extra time, claiming the ball was. Just watch what I'm saying. It's something about being the ball placed, and you can add extra time if there's problem getting everything set. It's something that Brady uses. I'll figure out the rule and I'll explain it next week. But all right. So these last couple guys are guys that I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you my like or dislike. I'm just going to go up to 28. Carson Wentz, don't like him. Do not like him with the Skins. I don't like him. Don't like him. I think he's mentally broken. Don't like him with the Skins. Zach Wilson with the Jets. I like Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson's going to be better than everyone thinks. I think this kid took the beating last year, right? 9 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. He did have 4 rushing touchdowns. This kid will be better. What's his face? The guy that I have, the wide receiver for the Jets, the one that started to come on last year. Come on, help me out. What's his name?
Elijah Moore.
Yeah. If you've watched preseason, Elijah Moore is so clear-cut the number 1 on that team. What he's doing is incredible. Like, he's so improved. Before this show, Big Stu was talking to me, possibly trying to get him back, trade something to get Elijah Moore back. Because in last year's corrupted league, Matt, I traded Big Stu, and he got to the championship and lost. I got his first, second, and third round pick. So I have the lottery pick coming up, meaning I'll either have the 1, 2, or 3, or 4. We do a lottery for the first 4, and then I'll have the 11th pick in all 3 rounds. And I'm like, I don't want to trade him back. I think I actually have a 7, Matt, that you have to keep 6 keepers. I'm keeping Travis Etienne, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. The what's his name? The tight end out of Pitts out of Atlanta, right? That's 3.
Pitts.
Yep, that's 3. Then I'm keeping Kadarius Toney. I'm keeping this kid right here. I keep forgetting his name, Elijah Moore. And then for my 6th, I'm keeping Julio Jones. Because Julio Jones is going to be a sneaky 10 touchdowns. Like red zone type. He just is. They don't have much else, and Brady's going to throw to him. I don't think
Brady's going to throw to him, and he's going to be like the Gronkowski connection. He's going to like show favoritism.
Yeah, he might not be there the whole year, but I'll get something out of him. And you got to understand that everyone with their keepers, they think their keepers are going to be great all year. By the end of the year, you always realize you dropped so many people you drafted. You picked up so many people on the waiver wire. It's so constantly fluid. You can't be set in stone. All right, so then Tannehill at 23, I'm not a naysay. I don't care either way. He is what he is. He's going to do exactly what he does every year. 22 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, around 3,600 yards. That's what you're going to get, which is good, serviceable. Jameis Winston, I don't know, man. Come on, he's in the Saints offense. He should be able to score more points than he is.
He's got Chris Olave, and he's got Michael Thomas, and he's got some secondary pieces that were rarely used in big roles last year, so they should be expecting for at least to be better off in their secondary roles now that they get. I don't know if Thomas plays though. I think they have like a little cross on him, like he's been branded. I don't know if he gets traded before the regular season. This could be a Mastradamus prediction. I don't know if we see him ever suit up at all this year.
But do you realize the 3 receivers he could have with Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, and Olave?
That's right. Jarvis Landry's there. That's great. That's right.
Matt,
yeah, that tells me.
Why is he not? Why do they not have him? See, this is my problem with Jameis. So if you give anybody else those 3 receivers, I would expect them to go up dramatically. Wouldn't you?
Absolutely. But I just don't know. I don't think that. I don't think Thomas plays this year.
So listen, at number 25, right? We'll end with him beating out Matt Ryan, Goff, Baker Mayfield, Davis Mills, Mariota, Pickett, Locke, Trubisky, Brissett, everybody else.
We haven't even said Matt Ryan's name yet.
No, he's number 20. Hold on. He's number. I don't know where he is. He's right after. He's number 26. We're going to discuss number 20. We're going to discuss number 25.
He should at least be at 15, 16, 17, 18. No. Like, we could put him ahead of like 10 of these clowns right now. Like, seriously.
Listen, number 25. Jones was the 5th QB selected in the 2021 draft, but no rookie passer was more impressive last season. The Alabama product was, at worst, average in notable categories like QBR, YPA, and completion rate, the latter of which was 8th best in the league. The bad news is that Jones, unsurprisingly, was a non-factor with his legs, only 15 scrambles. His fantasy production was extremely boom-bust and included 5 top 10 weeks, as well as 10 finishes of 22nd or worse. Jones will need elite passing numbers in order to reach QB1 status. And while that's possible, adding Devontae Parker helps, it's obviously unlikely. He's worth no more than a late round flyer. They have him throwing 3,800 yards again, 24 touchdowns. Matt, why do I think Mac Jones gets so much better this year? Throws 30 touchdowns. Why? Why do I think that? Why do I think Bill is going to make sure that Mac Jones looks really good?
I don't know why you think that, because they didn't get any better on the offensive side. They had the same talent. They're expecting probably more from John Smith and Nelson Aguilar than they did. You got Devontae Parker, but he's kind of He went over 1,000 yards.
But if they kept everybody the same, isn't that better for Mac? As far as
no,
the
I
system?
wouldn't necessarily say so. And because the line's not there, and they don't have Dante Senecchia there to make chicken salad out of chicken shit anymore. And they also, when it comes to Mac Jones, right? They had him play a very game management role offense. Their offense is not going to be as good as it was last year. I think it's going to get attacked more. I think it's more like it's funny that you said I knew it was stagnant, but towards the end of the year they started getting blown out, and they didn't know how to score. They against the Colts, against the Bills, against even the Miami Dolphins late. They have problems on the offensive side of the ball. It starts with Mac Jones.
That's two things. One, you just said it's funny. That's 5 in the show. And 2, I think he has to throw because I think they're going to be in a position where he has to throw. I mean, even his division is good. So he's going to have to throw. So I think Bill will put him in, and he had a great he was great in percentage, 68% completion. So they just got to put him in better situations. Maybe he learns the offense more this year. I'm just saying the kid is a good kid with a good arm, and people sleep on him. I don't know because he's like happy and happy go lucky. But
Tom Brady,
he's a
Tom
killer.
Brady in his first year had a few games where he threw the ball kind of all over the lot, but not really. Took advantage of some good situations. But in his second year, in his second year, he led the league in passing yards and touchdowns. But he also didn't do it in like his normal accurate fashion. It was kind of learning. I expect them to kind of do that with Mac Jones, like you were saying. They're gonna go out there and make mistakes. That does add to more points.
Fantasy.
But I just don't think it's gonna translate well to wins.
Yeah, maybe not wins, but fantasy, I think it does. Like, I think fantasy, a guy like him and Jameis Winston are could score a lot of touchdowns with where they are. But
I think you get a better year out of Matt Ryan than you do Mac Jones this
year. Yeah, I think you get a better year out of DJ Daniel Jones than both. I look.
Good, yeah.
So if I don't like a Giants quarterback, here's what you gotta understand. If I don't like somebody on the Giants, I immediately don't like them and I want them gone. Like Kevin Gilbride, I used to want to punch him in the face as an offensive coordinator. I wanted him gone because every 3rd and long, I told you this, every 3rd and long, the Giants would run a draw play. And I would just want to punch the TV. That's what they would do. If you remember the Giants, Kevin Gilbride, 3rd and 12, I'd look at my son. They're going to run a draw. They're not going to go for it. And he would never go for it. I've been through quarterbacks, man. I had Eli. I had to deal with all the bad games he played. The couple times he tried to throw the ball left-handed into the end zone twice, both for interceptions.
Would Matt Ryan excite you more, though, going against the AFC South than
if I thought they were going to let Matt Ryan just open it up as opposed to they're going to try to get ahead a lot early and then just pound it out with them. They get the best running back in the league.
Huge. They do have that, and I think it's huge for Jonathan Taylor. And I don't think people are talking about that. I think
they got him ranked number 1. JT's number 1 on everybody's list, Matt. Jonathan Taylor is the number 1 ranked fantasy player this year on everybody's list. Everybody.
But doesn't that tell you Matt Ryan's going to have a good year?
It does, but I feel like Matt Ryan gets ahead early and he manages the team. And that's what he's really there to do. He's not there to throw the ball around anymore, chucking it deep. He's not. He's really there to manage that team.
I'm hearing reports out of there that Colts players think he's a real dick.
Yeah, they probably do. I mean, think about it. Like, he's Mr. Atlanta. He comes over. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't like the fit. We'll see. I have weird feelings about people like that. But so I just got another message from the younger brother. He said, have somebody just take over my team. No explanation as to why he signed up. Just now I got to go in there and change that and whatever. So as we stand now, not speaking to Dave Evans, we are at 2 spots available. Anybody that wants a spot, just here's what we do. You can email me at mlepre. It's MLEPRE at mail.com. Let me see if I can put that up there. And then there you go. Right there. And tell me why you want to be in the league and why you should be in the league. Like, I don't want to know just why you want to. I want to know why you should be in the league, because if your pedigree doesn't match up, I don't think we should accept people. Like, I'm being honest. Like, if someone goes, that's my first time doing it, maybe we shouldn't accept these people. I mean, maybe we should, because they're roadkill if they want to really get beat. But I think if they don't ever play before, we should say to them, look, you're going to get killed. Like, you're going to get beat bad. Like, it's abusive. We should let them know. But I digress. Maddie, got anything you want to wrap up on this Sunday morning that we made it through?
Ready for some football. I can't wait. It's going through my blood, my veins. I'm so ready for this year.
You know, this will be legit fantasy football's third football season. That is crazy, right? Now, on top of that, me, you, and brother Ray, well, basically me and you, though, have done podcasting of football. We did another couple of years, right? A year or so.
Yeah.
So we've done. Me and you have been together doing football at least 4 years,
Yeah,
five seasons, like.
absolutely.
I think we've gotten better. How about that?
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
I think the older we've gotten, the less risk taking we've gotten, even though we still have that problem, but it's less. And and I think, and this is why I miss Brother Ray, but when the games come, he'll be here. I think having other people to talk to and talk out scenarios of games helped me pick games better last year, especially as the season went on. And then I took it to the USFL, and just talking about USFL games, I mean, I crushed that. That was over 70-something%. I won. I think this year we're going to do the same. Like, I really think that this is the year that, like, you got to listen to us. We need to do like a running tally of how much we made, or how much we would have made people if they went. Because we pick every game. You can't go on based on that. Like, no one should pick every game, but we do it just to do it, right? But then we're going to give who we should pick, who you should focus on. That'll be the ending. That's the ones you want to bet, right?
Yep.
We just do every game for the sake of it. It's hard to have a great record when you do every game. So I think we should do records based on every game, and then records based on like our 3 of the week.
Yep.
That's where the money is.
Yep.
That's where the money is.
Absolutely.
Look, we got great season of betting games, watching games. We got legit fantasy football league. We've got fantasy advice. We're going to do a thing where Buddy's going to be our 4th. And on the Sundays that he can't make it, he's just going to send us a guest. Somebody from someplace different every time. And they'll be our 4th. Maybe an old lady. Maybe a little kid. Doesn't matter. We're going to rock the show with them. They're going to make their picks too. And we're going to tally up people that don't know football and see how they rank against us. Matt, it's going to be a year finally of us. People have to pay attention this year, because I'm getting tired of picking winners and no one's making money. You must get mad about that too. Like, why?
Someone's calling me. No.
All right. So, for M1, Mastradamus. It's me, Mike Weapons, myself. It's legit.
Oh my God.
Fantasy football was brought to you by legitpodcast.com. Thank you for watching. We'll be back on Thursday night. Tonight, stay tuned at 7:05 for Legit Paranormal with me, Buddy, Joey, and I think we have our guest, Gene Broida. Matt, we are out.